Talent can get you into the game. And sure, hard work will keep you there. But what is it that really separates the good from the truly legendary? It's not just what they do, it's how they think. Today, we're going to break down 5 legendary mindsets that you can actually use to completely change the game in your work, your health, your whole life. Think about that for a second. You can have the best plan in the world, the perfect strategy, but if your head's not in the right place, that gap between you and your biggest goals, it's never going to close. The greats don't just play to win, they think to dominate. Mindset, well, that's the ultimate unfair advantage. So, we're going to explore 5 blueprints for success, and each one is anchored by an absolute icon who basically redefined what was possible. And you know what the best part is? You don't need their genetics. You just need to start adopting their way of thinking. That's right. 5 champions, 5 mindsets. Think of them as 5 identity upgrades that can totally transform how you show up, starting literally today. Okay, so here's our roadmap. Obsession, leadership, control, conviction, and consistency. Each one is a super powerful tool you can add to your arsenal. First up, let's talk about obsession. Most of us are out here chasing balance, but you know who wasn't? Kobe Bryant. He chased greatness. He believed in being so dialed in, so laser-focused on one thing that most people would probably call you crazy, and he was totally okay with that. This mindset teaches us that sometimes a season of obsession can create decades of freedom down the road. Get this. A trainer once asked him when he was going to finish his early morning workout, and Kobe's answer was simple: when I make 800 shots. That's not just motivation, right? That is obsession. It's a calculated choice to just flat out outwork everyone else. The lesson here is that being exceptional isn't about comfort. It's about an insane level of focus. Okay, so obsession is one piece of the puzzle. But what happens when the pressure really starts to build? Well, this is where our second mindset comes in, and it's perfectly embodied by Dak Prescott. It's this idea that pressure doesn't create leaders, it just reveals them. Leadership isn't about pretending you never struggle, it's about how you carry yourself while you're in the thick of it. In a sport where talking about mental health was basically taboo, Dak didn't fake a strength he wasn't feeling. He actually led by being honest. And the result was incredible. His teammates respected him even more, and people literally said his honesty saved their lives. Authentic leadership will always build deeper trust than fake perfection ever could. So if Dak shows us how to command the storm with grace, our third legend, Michael Jordan, well, he used the storm as rocket fuel. He had one gear: dominate. This mindset is all about channeling every single emotion, criticism, disrespect, doubt, and turning it into pure, unfiltered output. The rule is simple: never react, always respond with action. This story is just legendary. His opponent, LeBradford Smith, later said he never even said anything to Mike. Jordan completely made up a story in his own head just to fuel his fire. Now, that's not being petty, that's competitive insanity. It teaches us that a quiet, controlled response through your performance is way more powerful than any argument you could ever make. And speaking of fuel, our next athlete didn't just believe in himself, he declared it to the entire world. Muhammad Ali proved that belief isn't some passive, quiet thing. No, it's loud, it's bold, and it's visible. Most people kind of whisper their dreams. Ali just said, "I am." This quote, it just says it all. He declared who he was before it was a fact on paper, long before the world agreed with him. Of course, he backed it up with insane discipline and work, but it all started with that unshakable conviction. When you speak like you mean it, your subconscious listens, your team listens, and you know what? The universe listens too. Now, Ali, he brought the charisma, but our last athlete, Derek Jeter, he built a legacy on something a lot quieter, but just as powerful. He never chased the spotlight, he just chased the standard. This whole mindset is about building a reputation on trust, the kind that's earned by doing the same thing at the same high level, day in and day out. When a rookie once asked him for the secret to his success, Jeter's answer was so simple: there is no secret. It's just the same preparation, the same focus, and the same standard, day after day. Championships are won in those thousands of unseen hours. A consistent standard will always outlast a few moments of hype. So, we've got these 5 incredibly powerful blueprints, but these mindsets aren't just stuck with these men or in their era. They are absolutely timeless and universal. In fact, you can see these exact same mental models at play in some of the greatest female champions competing right now. You can literally draw a direct line from Kobe's obsession to Serena Williams, from Dak's leadership to Sue Bird, from Jordan's control to Ashley Barty, Ollie's conviction to Megan Rapinoe, and Jeter's consistency to Chris Evert. Now, each one of these deserves its own explainer, but let's just zoom in on one really powerful example. Let's just focus on Serena for a minute. In her prime, she never chased work-life balance. She chased absolute dominance. Winning wasn't just a goal, it was the standard she lived by. Just like Kobe, her edge wasn't only her talent, it was that controlled obsession applied every single day, completely unapologetically.
Okay, knowing these mindsets is interesting, right? But integrating them, that's what creates champions. So let's make this real. This next part is actually the most important part of our time together, your 7-day challenge.
The call to action here is simple. Don't try to do all 5 at once. Just pick one. One mindset for 1 week. If you feel like you're chasing balance when you know you should be obsessed, channel Kobe and Serena. If you're reacting emotionally when you should be responding with action, channel Jordan. Choose the one that hit you the hardest. And here's your game plan. Step 1, declare a clear, maybe even a little uncomfortable standard for yourself. Step 2, identify your #1 excuse and then just kill it. Do the work anyway. Step 3, measure your performance with data, not with how you feel. Step 4, do the boring fundamental work that actually gets results. And finally, step 5, after 7 days, honestly review what shifted. 1 week is really all it takes to feel the change. So the real question is, which identity are you stepping into? Are you going to channel the obsession of Kobe, the control of Jordan, or the conviction of Ali? Pick one. Commit to it for just 7 days. Your next level is waiting for you.